Hello everyone. Hope you are well. Happy Onam to everyone in Kerala. Onam is still on, and I am giving someone from India today, not from Kerala obviously, but close enough to Kerala. Someone who was a magical stroke maker, and someone who was in a league of his own when he played through the leg side and his wrist work, especially. I don't think any player in that time had wrist work like he had, and who played a lot of crucial innings for India under difficult circumstances when the team was in really bad situations and won test matches for India. I'm talking about the very, very special VVS Laxman from Hyderabad. He was born November 1st, 1974 in Hyderabad, born on Kerala Puravi, November 1st. And he was definitely one of the best batsmen of his generation. He's famously known for that magical knock of 281 against Australia at Eden Gardens. I'll come to it later. His statistics, he played 134 test matches for India and he scored 8,781 runs. And his average was 45.91. And he scored 17 hundreds, and his highest was 281, which was a magical innings against Australia at Eden Gardens in 2001 when India were following on, and that excellent partnership with Rahul Dravid where he put on 376 and India winning after following on, which was only the third time ever a team had won after following on. I will come back to that innings a bit later. And he also took 135 catches. He was an excellent slip fielder as well. And in one day internationals, he scored more than 2,300 runs with 600s, where four of those centuries came against Australia. He was very good against Australia. He always brought his best against Australia. Even six of his test hundreds are against Australia. And he was a prolific scorer in the Ranji Trophy league. And when as a youngster, I followed VVS Laxman a lot, and always seen him score big hundreds in the Ranji Trophy. And another thing about VVS Laxman that a lot of people might not know, it's just a fact figure. He is actually the great grandnephew of Dr. Radhakrishnan, the former president of India. And personally, I'm someone a big fan of Dr. Radhakrishnan. One book that really inspired me a lot was the interpretations of the Bhagavad Gita that was written by Dr. Radhakrishnan. VVS Laxman, his greatest innings was at 281. In that innings, in the first innings, he had scored 59, and India were following on in the second innings. And normally, he was batting at number 6 when he scored those 59 in the first innings. And normally, Rahul Dravid, as everyone knows, is India's number 3, one down position. And VVS Laxman was sent to bat at number 3, and the rest is history, I can say. He scored 281 runs and he put on a magical partnership of 376 with Rahul Dravid. And both of them actually batted a whole day as well. And the test match was totally turned around, and India beat Australia. And Australia had won 16 test matches in a row at that point, and they were looking on course to win their 17th, and India stopped that. And India won the third test as well, where Laxman scored a couple of half centuries, and India won that series against Steve O's Australia. And Rahul Dravid, and he was masterful the way he played Shane Warne, especially. Obviously, he's very good against a fast and spin Laxman, and he was really excellent against spin. The way he played Shane Warne was just excellent. Shane Warne was coming around the wicket, bowling into the rough, and Laxman was expertly flicking him through the mid wicket, even mid on. He was just absolutely amazing in that innings. And even Shane Warne said that he had no answers to VVS Laxman that day, and that was a magical innings. And he once in the tour of Australia 2000. VVS Laxman once scored 167 at Sydney versus Australia when Glenn McGrath was at the top of his bowling, and the Indian batsmen were finding it very difficult to cope with Glenn McGrath. He scored a masterful 167 versus Australia. He's one of his hundreds, one-day hundreds also was at Australia, in Australia. And one of the another big innings that VVS Laxman played was at Mohali against Australia when India chasing 216 were 124 for 8 and was staring at defeat, and he batted expertly with the tail, and he managed to win the test match for India. India won by just 1 wicket. It was a thrilling win, and Laxman had scored 73 not out as well. He was really good batting with the tail, I have to say. And Laxman was absolutely excellent with his stroke play. He really batted with a lot of ease. When he was on full song, it was just a joy to watch him bat. I mean, he could look better than any batsman in the world when in full flight. And he also had that rare ability to hit the same ball through the offside and the leg side, like a ball out just outside off stump. He could easily drive it for four through the covers, and he could easily flick that ball through the mid on or mid wicket for a four as well. That was how good he was with his wrist work. And another thing that I should say about Laxman was that he was very good against any loose balls. I mean, when Laxman was batting, no matter what the situation of the match or the pitch was, if he got a loose ball, you were almost guaranteed that he would put it away for a boundary. That's how good Laxman was at putting the bad balls away. And he also played a famous innings in Durban, a historic win that India had in the Durban Test. India in the second innings were really struggling at 94 for 5, and Dale Steyn was all over India. And VVS Laxman again batted on with the tail. He had an important partnership with Dhoni and Zahir Khan, and he got India to 228 the total. And he therefore India put a target of 303 for South Africa, and India won that test by 87 runs, bowled out South Africa for 215, I think, and that was a famous historic win at Kingsmead Durban Test. And VVS Laxman was the man of the match in that test for his match-winning 96. So that Mohali, Durban, a couple of instances, even the 281, three of these were really, really bad, horrible situations for his team where they were really looking at defeat. So all these three innings were really match-winning innings, and in difficult situations against good bowling on difficult pitches. So that is something that has to be said about VVS Laxman. He was in a league of his own in that regard of batting really well in difficult situations. And he was a perfect gentleman, by the way. I mean, he is one of the nicest people that have played cricket without any doubt. And I don't think there is anyone who would not like VVS Laxman. Even the opponents everywhere, VVS Laxman was highly respected. Obviously, he was an amazing talent, excellent batsman. But he was also such a good character on the field. The way he conducted himself on the field, he was an absolute gentleman. That has to be said about VVS Laxman. And he is, by the way, the current director, the head of the NCA, the National Cricket Academy in India. And he's also the head coach of the under-19 team, which Rahul Dravid was before. And VVS Laxman was really good against Australia. Like I said, in the test matches, he has scored 600s versus Australia, and 400s out of his 6 ODI hundreds came against Australia as well. And another thing about VVS Laxman, he in 2002, by the way, he was one of the Wisden Cricketers of the Year. And another thing that has to be said about VVS Laxman, he is one of the very few players in the world who has played 100 test matches and never appeared in a World Cup. There are very, very few players like that, and VVS Laxman is one of them. And he was just excellent. I mean, like I said, his stroke play, the ease with which he batted, and he really used to pull the ball very well. He was a very good hooker and puller of the cricket ball, and he was extremely masterful against spin and pace. I have to say, I mean, through the offside, and he was a tall batsman. I mean, he was 6'1" not a short batsman, and with his frame, he really looked when he could bat it. And he had a very good technique as well. He wasn't easy to get rid of. And he really gave a lot of beautiful treats to the public when he batted. I mean, his stroke play through the offside, he just looked so easy the way he batted. I've spoken about a lot of players in my Legend series like Marco, Inzamam Mulhaka, Carl Hooper, obviously. VVS Laxman was just that league like them. He really made a stroke play very easy. He was very easy on the eye, and he just looked like he was just touching the ball. He had amazing timing. He was not someone who used to hit the ball hard. He would just stroke the ball through the offside or through the leg side, and he had splendid timing, I should say. And he was always a treat to the eye when he batted well, and he was just excellent. I mean, scoring 8,800 runs for India and playing more than 100 Test matches. And he was an excellent slip fielder. Like I said, he's taken 135 catches for India as well. So that is my video on VVS Laxman, who is one of the greatest batsmen that India have produced, and such a very sweet, elegant stroke maker, and his wrist work, something that was in a league of his own. He was just amazing to the eye, and again I'm saying, and was an absolute gentleman, one of the perfect gentlemen, and one of the nicest guys to have ever played cricket. Thank you to VVS Laxman for all the amazing memories, for playing a lot of inspirational knocks for India, and for all the inspiration you have given to youngsters, and all the good work that you are doing with the NCA in India now with the National Cricket Academy. Good luck with that as well. Thank you everyone for joining, and I'm sure people would have great memories of VVS Laxman. Take care. God bless you.